Hello, what's good? Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Lauren. I am your resident intuitive baddie. And I think I want to do a fun read. So on my TikTok, I've been playing around with these flashcards that my daughter got for a loot bag. But I've been reading them. I've been reading them kind of like they're oracle cards, and I'm not gonna lie, they've been some fun ones. So I'm gonna start with those kind of as oracle. I'm gonna do Starseed Oracle at the end, and I'll get some clarifiers with tarot. I probably should have just started like this. This is not centered. Let me center them for my brain. There we go. Something like that. But okay, we will start with the Sesame Street flashcards used as oracle cards. I'm gonna get three. I just finished. I think the longest reading I've done so far was a 3x3 spread, masculine and feminine energies. Ooh, too many. Okay, so we got circle, oval. Let's get one more. I hope I get a character card. I think that one. Only wanted three. Let's see. Perfect. Okay. So to start off this reading, we have a blue circle, a blue oval, and the Grouch. So pretty much how I've been doing this is when I get shapes, I read off of the shape and the color. So we got blue, heavy blue here, so heavy expression. And it's very interesting because you have two cards where they don't have edges. They're both round. Circle, I kind of look at it as like completion, something coming full circle, right? But an oval is pretty much a circle that's kind of, I want to say, stretched out of shape or just stretched. So there's something to do here with, I want to say, the completion of your expression journey being stretched out. And when I think about the Grouch, so the Grouch in Sesame Street is like a monster that lives in a garbage can, and he's very opposite, I want to say, in the sense that the things that make him happy are the things that make people sad. It's like he he likes being grumpy. He likes complaining about things. He likes being isolated, being the odd one out in a sense. So there's this very independent energy that I want to say comes from the Grouch. And it's like, yeah, I'm not getting that you are a grouchy person. I'm just getting that there's something about you that goes against the grain. And when it comes to your expression, you might have even felt like there have been times where I want to say people stretch your words, or like I'm hearing bent out of shape. It's like even when things come full circle, and yeah, there's something about stretching here. Very interesting. Let's get let's get into some tarot to clarify. I'm going to pull three for each. So let's clarify the circle first. Ooh, ooh. One more. I didn't even see that one flip. Okay, so we got Ace of Swords in reverse, Ten of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. A lot of longevity here in your financial assets too. We like that. But there's something about a new idea you have or a new venture that is blocked right now. It has to do with your expression coming full circle though. Yeah, just even like there's a lot of circle energy here, a lot of completion here. You know what it is? I think there's an idea, maybe an idea that you had in the past, or like an idea that you hadn't, that was delayed before, that is now coming into full circle, is now getting to be expressed. And you're going to see a lot of financial abundance from it. You're going to be able to lead with this. So yeah, I it's kind of I'm getting the message to tell you to look at something that, yeah, maybe an idea that you had that you shelved. On the bottom of the deck we have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. So yeah, an energy that it feels like you've been waiting a long time and you haven't been seeing the return. And then you have Justice at the top of the deck. So this is something that felt unfair to you. So there could be something that had blocked this idea in the past. But yeah, what I'm getting is that it's coming full circle now. Okay, let me get the oval. What is the oval? Ooh. Hmm. Okay, so you have the Five of Pentacles, feeling lack, not necessarily actually being in lack, but feeling it. Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Knight of Pentacles is the slowest messenger in the deck. In the reverse, it has to do with delaying communication, not getting communication. Um, the Knight of Pentacles is also, even though it's the slowest moving, it's because there's real foundation and longevity in the message that you're getting. So there's something here about something not growing or not having the right foundation to get to you. And then you have the Tower in reverse, which in the upright is sudden change, sudden external change. In the reverse, I'm getting sudden internal change or the need for subtle or for sudden internal change. So going from this full circle energy to this oval energy, I'm feeling that with whatever this idea is, maybe it's an idea that you have tried out in the past, and the symbolism of the oval, of this full circle thing, it just like it feeling stretched out. You might have felt like your finances might have been stretched out, waiting for this message might have been stretched out, even your healing journey, the or how long you went through this phase of internal shifting might have felt drawn out. That's kind of what I'm getting, is this drawn out feeling. The fact that there's a lot of pentacles just in the spread altogether is here. We got pentacle, 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 pentacles. Um, I'm, and it's kind of funny because these are opposing, right? Which makes a lot of sense because I feel like these two energies are, I don't want to say the same, but they're different forms of the same energy because they're both expression and they're both round. They both still come full circle. Like this is the energy in completion. This is the energy, I want to say, over completion. So maybe you know what it could be? It could be that there have been times with this idea where it felt like you were here and it felt like it was full circle. But then there's been other times where maybe because of your physical reality, it felt like you were lacking and it just felt like you were just waiting for something to come in, for a sign, for a message. And just sitting in this change, this need to change internally, shift internally, has just felt, again, really, really long. Okay, let's clarify the grouch now. Oh, wait, before I do, bottom of the deck, you have Six of Pentacles, something about reciprocity. Maybe you weren't getting reciprocity in this process, but you were always hoping for reciprocity. Six of Cups in reverse at the top of the deck. Um, ooh, living in the past. Living in the past. Ooh, that kind of shifts the mood a little bit. You know what it's giving? It's giving that this this feeling of things being drawn out has to do with holding on to something longer than you needed to. Reciprocity, reciprocity. Maybe what kept you going on was reciprocity, knowing that the universe was eventually going to give back to you what you've given it. But yeah, holding on to the past, what I'm kind of getting, bridging off of that, is just that I think you looked way too long at what you weren't getting, how things weren't reciprocal, how things looked like lack, instead of um living in the end. I can't remember who coins that term. about living in the end of manifestation. Probably not hard to look up. I'm sure you'll figure it out. And if not, if I really care, I'll put it in the I'll put it in somewhere. But there's a part of me that feels like I won't. Um, yeah. Okay. Let's look at print or the Grouch. I do want to note also the Grouch being green. Green typically symbolizes heart energy, which is kind of funny. Ooh. Oh. Okay. Sure. Oh, that's interesting. I think that came out for something else. Oh well, I think that came out in the last reading actually. Anyways, but what I was saying was uh green has to do with the heart, and it's kind of funny because the Grouch is somebody who prides himself off of isolation and not necessarily not needing anybody, but it's like it's an independent energy in a good way. I want to say this character. And he's not like I don't think he's closed off to the world, but I think that's what makes it funny is that because it's such a character that um really goes to the beat of their own drum. It's funny that the color has to do all with connection. Anyways, so we have the Four of Pentacles, the Chariot, and the Queen of Cups clarifying the Grouch. Holding on to something too tightly, things moving fast, and being in tune, in flow with your emotions. In relation to oh wait, what do we have on the bottom of the deck and the top? Let's see. Bottom of the deck we have the Nine of Swords in reverse, which is giving internalizing some thoughts, some negative thoughts. And the Wheel of Fortune, change of luck. Hmm. This Four of Pentacles is holding on too tightly. Internalization of some negative thoughts. Charging forward in flow. So okay, so what I'm getting is like the Grouch on Sesame Street is known to be somebody who holds on to a bit of negativity. But I think what's so paradoxical about this character is he doesn't see it as negativity. It's really it's kind of confusing at times because it's just like I'm remembering there's a scene that's coming up. Elmo was like in his trash can, I think trying to hide from having to take a bath or some shit. And then like when Elmo leaves, Elmo's like, "Oh, sorry for the mess." And then and yeah, the Grouch is kind of like just like this kid are like, "Wow, everything's everywhere. Everything's so messy, but I like messy. You can come back anytime." So it's like it's so interesting because it's like the things that the Grouch holds as negative are usually positive things. So yeah, it's very flipped. So there might be things that you're internalizing. I'm pulling from the Nine of Cups at the bottom. Or sorry, the Nine of Swords in reverse at the bottom of the deck. Thinking about that, there might be there might be some thoughts that you're holding on to tightly, and they might be or you might be internalizing them as negative, but really they're positive and they're actually thoughts that are pushing you forward and pushing you closer into flow, or putting you more in a flow state. What's at the top of the deck again? We had a Wheel of Fortune. And I feel like there's this change that, well, it's at the top of the deck, so you do see coming. You do see that things are turning in your favor. But it's giving me kind of like a pessimistic type of vibe, and not necessarily because you're a pessimist, but I feel like it has to do with protection. I'm recalling something from a client call I had last week. Um, but I had a client that was talking about how they lower their expectations in order to avoid disappointment in a way, right? But the issue with that is when you lower your expectations in general, it signals something negative to the rest of your being. So with that, there's something about how even when you feel pessimistic, just remember that thing just remember that the energy is turning. You're in flow. Things are moving forward. You are moving forward. Part of me wants to get more information as to why this why it feels pessimistic. Maybe you're holding on too tightly to the outcome, because that was kind of where that conversation went with the client, where it was like it had to do with holding on too tightly to the outcome rather than just the experience itself. So I think what your inner child is looking for, or looking to tell you, is to have faith. Yeah, because it's like I'm getting that this oval energy, this stretched out, drawn out feeling, and then the holding on too tightly to your outcome. It's like both these energies are present, but are you choosing to look at this, or are you choosing to look at the circle? Because again, both energies read as something being expressed coming full circle, or coming all the way around, but are you choosing to look at it as coming full circle? Are you choosing to look at it as being stretched out? How are you looking at things? All right, let's get into some last messages. Starseed Oracle. I think it's perfect fitting for this type of read, for an inner child read, just because I believe that the inner child is synonymous with your higher self, because your inner child is your purest expression of you, right? So it makes sense that that would also be your higher self. Okay, we have the Cosmic Heart, devotion, potency, make your life a moving prayer. We have the Golden Children, inner child, tenderness, innocence, rare gifts. And Lost Lands, soul memories and gifts. You've done this before. Okay, I wasn't planning on matching it with each of the top cards, but that's what's gonna happen now. Okay, so For that circle energy, you have the cosmic heart, devotion, potency, make your life a moving prayer. So what I'm getting from this is that the more that you pour into this idea, this whatever it is that you've been working on or hadn't been working on for a while, or even felt like, because maybe this is even just an idea that is different from what it started out as. I'm kind of getting that, where it's like, it's not that you didn't start with the idea, it's just that the idea you started with is different. But regardless, as long as you pour into whatever it is, you're going to get here. You're going to get to that stability, that what's it called, that financial abundance. Because yeah, the more that you make your life a moving prayer, the more that you look at life that way, the more that you look at your purpose that way, it will come full circle for you. Now, the oval, you have the golden children there: inner child, tenderness, innocence, rare gifts. With this energy of this drawn out energy, this waiting energy, this lack energy, this internal shift. I think why this is coming out for this is because when we think of the inner child, a lot of I mean, most of the people, I want to say, look at the inner child as the inner wounded child. Like, I think, especially because our inner children are can take over the driver's seat sometimes, especially when they're wounded and not being attended to. And what I'm getting is that this prolonged feeling has something to do with your childhood. Maybe this is maybe it mirrored something that, I mean, even like with this mirror this big ass mirror in the middle, I'm getting that there was some of this was mirrored from childhood, and I think that's why it affected you the way it did, or why it felt so drawn out, because in a sense it could even feel like a continuation um of something that you experienced prior. And then moving to the Grouch, lost land, soul memories and gifts, you've done this before. Maybe there's a part of you that doubts. And it kind of moves in line with how you had the Wheel of Fortune at the top of the deck for this one, because the luck has been bound to turn. And I feel like it's kind of giving this energy of, oh, maybe things are too good to be true. But the reason why this is flowing so well and why you're able to move forward is because, again, you've done this before. Like, there's there is something within you that has memory, or is remembering what the plan is. And I think the lesson is to not hold on so tightly to the human version of your plan, or I guess the 3D version of your plan, because there's a 5D version of your plan that your soul is meant to follow in flow, and it and in trust. I don't know if this is true about the Grouch, but I have this feeling like maybe they don't trust he doesn't trust as much. Um, but you need to. This just might be the 3D version of you, but your 5D self knows exactly what to do. Um, Bottom of the deck, earth pulsing, pulse of the mother, slow down, time in nature. So there's this underlying energy of divine timing, which is very beautiful. But you got this, yo. Whoever you are, you got this. Your inner child, you have been taking care of your inner child. Like, I think that's the thing that I get the most from the Tower Beacon reverse, even though this part felt very long, it served its purpose, and you are ready for this. You're ready to embark on your mission, so go do it. If you feel called to doing one-on-one work to move on your highest timeline, um, links are in the description. Find me. This work's not for everyone. It's only for people who are truly ready and truly want accountability in their path in moving forward. Because the thing about the work that I do, the one-on-one sessions that I do, is it's less about me telling you what to do and more about me just keeping you on track for what you already know you're supposed to do. And if that doesn't resonate, I really hope that the reading resonated, and I want to thank you for being here. I really hope that you've been enjoying the readings from this view and ignoring my nails. Well, until next time, bye.